Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, in our wellness chats, we have our coach, Nancy Yang Timmins from Canada. Welcome, Nancy. How are you doing?
Good to see you today.
Nice
I know you're in plus 20 something in South Africa, and we're minus 11 here in Timmins, Ontario, where I'm living today. So we're close to mid to end of March now, and I love snow, but I can't wait for winter to be over. So.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, and what a contrast, balancing each other as well. So, well, thank you so much for making the time to have a chat. And today, Nancy and I wanted to bring to you a topic that we believe and feel is very relevant. And it's basically nutrition. Nutrition in terms, yes, of food, but nutrition also means self-love, the words that we say, the thoughts that we have. And for today, we want the focus to be from micro to macro. And Nancy, maybe just let us know or tell us what does this mean from micro to micro?
Well, good to be here, Lou. Just really, we are always thinking about ways that we can reach out to more people, especially women. And so this topic is so important to me because we always talk about nutrition. I think more and more of us now are aware of, what we eat is so important to our well-being. But what we don't realize that is what I have seen is that everything is connected. When you focus on self-care, which is like what Lou had said about giving yourself nourishing thoughts, giving yourself nourishing affirmations, giving yourself nourishing food, surrounding yourself in a nourishing environment, it's so important. And even more of a whole picture that we are not alone, even within ourselves. There's so many millions of microbes from head to toe. We are always coexisting in harmony, even in our body in general, unless you're doing something that's not good for your body, right? We should be in balance. Even our body's different systems are trying to bring homeostasis back all the time because there's going to be stressful periods or periods where we maybe have accidentally ingested something that's not good for us, but our body's always trying to find that balance. So how does this translate to the overall picture is back to what I said at the beginning. When we focus on self-care, focusing on the kind of food that we can provide for our body and the millions of microbes that are living majority of the time in harmony with us, we're doing this by example. We're doing this to show people around us, our loved ones who go, whoa, what are you doing? Why is your skin looking so good? Why are you looking in like better shape than before? And we influence them that way. It's not about, oh, yes, I have to be a huge in social media influencer. I'm going to, influence millions of years. No, it's about how can we happy and most immediate environment. Most immediate environment is within ourselves and our surroundings. And what we do now, what we can do, just even focusing on the food that we consume can translate to the planet. Because if we focus, say, on whole foods, organic, locally grown, we're eliminating the carbon, that's emitted from the transportation. We're limiting the loss of nutrients that's being transported from different countries to your particular country, which, we humans are so ingenious. We can have like food that's not in season in our country because it's in season in another country. Like at the beginning with Lou, right? She's in summer, I'm in winter, totally different. I can still have mango and guava if I wanted to. And just in different parts of the world. But how does that translate? If we consume more local and organic, we can cut down that transportation. We can cut down, maybe mass produced, by big agricultural, companies, not to name, but we know they just mass produce these cash crops and they have to spray with pesticides, glyphosate, whatever we have all heard about. That is going to come into our body as well. And so if we can focus on the local, the organic, the farmers that are practicing regenerative farming, think about that. That is going to help our planet to regenerate also, because how much have we produced as pollutants on this planet?
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing your emotion, your passion for this, your enthusiasm. Thank you. It allows us to think, to get different opinions or to see different perspectives. So thank you for that. And what I'm hearing from what you are saying is, yeah, going back to regenerative, organic, seasonal food, and in opposing to eating processed food. We are basically speaking about maybe detoxing our body as well, right? From things that we did take in the past, and then we have to detox from that or start changing our lifestyles. There's always an opportunity for change. First of all, with awareness, which you are actually sharing with us, awareness of how are you nurturing yourself? What are you putting in your mouth? In this case, we're speaking about food. Or as we were saying, what are your thoughts? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What's coming in into your micro system,
Bio.
micro world, right? Which later, because there's always feedback, is biofeedback with the world. It's in and out. So we ingest and then it comes out, as you were saying.
Just the word detox is so important. What you have mentioned is that, you know, at the beginning, I talked about nourishing ourselves, right? Nourishing within, but it's also about auditing, right? Not just paying attention to what we're consuming, but you also want to, crowd out. You want to get all the good things coming in, right? But that is also in many ways, you're detoxing. How, you know, we always talk about, we don't want to be in a toxic relationship. Who are you surrounding? What kind of thoughts? Are they toxic? Are they making you sick? You know, what are the thoughts you're putting in? So it's not just about food, detoxing overall, auditing your environment, right? That is going to have a reverberating effect in all areas of your life once we're able to do that. And I just want to say, like, I don't know if you're aware of this statistic. Since 1940, we have created over 75,000 synthetic chemicals.
Wow.
And then every year, we probably have about 2,000 more man-made chemicals. Because now we're using chemicals to fight chemicals. But then what does that mean? I understand it's great, people are doing that. But what does that mean? We're just creating more. And then we need more to, like, you know, get rid of these new chemicals that we have manufactured. So why can't we? I don't understand why a lot of us can't just focus on the simple basic, right? Think about the water you're drinking. I know in a lot of states, like, you can't trust the tap water you're drinking because there's fluoride, there's all kinds of chemical, and you think about, we all have water treatments in every single town, city, right? Why do we need to have water treatment if the water is great? What are you flushing down the toilet? People flush down medication, people flush down their tampons. I mean, I'm sure, have you seen the movie Flushed Away? There's all kinds of things being flushed down into our toilet. That's why, and which is great. Again, I'm not knocking this. Our water treatment plant is there to detox, but they also need to add chemical to these chemicals, you know, to make sure that they're neutral, but eventually we're going to drink that. So water, like, think about the water you're drinking. It's so essential. And water, we're made up of water. Mostly water is so essential to life, right? So it's detoxing is so important. So it's not just about, okay, we got to do this because we see this problem, but where's the root of the problem? What are you doing? What are you flushing down? What are you consuming? Because what you're consuming, even when you think, oh, I take medication, I don't throw out my medication into the toilet. Well, it comes out the other end, right?
Yeah.
It comes out the other end. And this is an open tube, our digestive system, actually, right? It's open to the outside world when you think about it. And it does a marvelous job of filtering different kinds of things coming into our body, but it does get overwhelmed when we just keep creating more and more. And so detoxing is so important.
What you are sharing with us, it's great awareness, because if we are not aware of what's happening around us or within us, it's much more challenging to make a change because we don't know what we need to change. So first of all, the great tip that you are giving us is awareness. So thank you for that. That's amazing. And then you mentioned chemicals, that there are many chemicals being created and created. And that makes me think of our own chemicals. I mean, we have an internal pharmacy, right? The brain. I believe we are able to generate everything we need. Ideally, we can. And I understand. And of course, we have the system, and when we need the system, we can use the system. That's also okay. Not abusing the system, medical system, or all these other systems. But I do believe that we can be self-sustainable. Like 90%. I know there's some vitamins and minerals that we need to get from outside, and of course, but that's what nature is there for as well.
Well, nature is not discriminate. Nature provides for all.
Yes.
But we put up the wall. We're in our concrete jungle. We're wearing our shoes. Like, how many of us really get that time to go out into nature and take your shoes off, step on grass, step on dirt, step on, you know, the beach, the sand? You know, I mean, I feel very fortunate, and you probably do, that because of our training, we just realize how important it is to connect with nature. But a lot of us are sitting in this concrete jungle or in the house and doing work all day and barely going outside to look at sunlight, barely, you know, being bombarded by fluorescent light. So it is us. We put up the wall. Nature never put up a wall. And when you think about, you know, in North America, I don't know what it's like in South Africa, but in North America, we see dandelions. People treat dandelions like weeds. We think they're weeds, but dandelions are medicinal. Yes. And why there's abundance of dandelions in this soil is because nature is using its own way to detoxify. Dandelions can detox, right? If you go to any health food store, they'll go, oh, have this dandelion root, drink the dandelion tea. Why is that? Because our soil has been toxic for so long, polluted by us. We can't always think, I'm going to have this huge impact. what can you do within yourself first? That's the simplest, the easiest thing. Focus on your food, focus on your thoughts, focus on your immediate environment. That's the easiest thing. That's the things. And who do you have control over? Really just yourself.
Yeah.
But it's not a control. It's also still learning to live in harmony with the microbes within your body.
Yeah, thank you so much for this awareness. And do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this. So I've been talking about eating organic, where it's possible. That's my first tip about how to low tox our lives. So eating organic, like, what you had also mentioned, Lou, is to eat seasonally, right? Our ancestral gene, really, it takes, we've been agriculturalist, when you think about it, the agriculture history is only 9,500 years. But for millions of years prior to that, humans existed, and we existed like nomads, right? We eat in one area, we move on to the next. So our ancestors were already eating seasonally or eating like from place to place, because it actually gives the soil, gives the area of, the environment where they were in some time to breathe, to regrow again. So eating seasonally, this is all part of the first tip about eating organic. So eating seasonally, shop at the farmer's market, buy in bulk, right? You can buy bulk organic to be cheaper, buy frozen stuff, right? That's what I do now in Northern Canada, because we don't always have the freshest, local produce when it's snow covered, which is understandable. And then, know the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 from the Environmental Working Group's website. The Environmental Working Group really dedicate themselves to like showing us what's out there, what we can do to be better, to not produce any more toxins, right, into our environment. So that's just the first point, eating organic where possible. And the next thing is about detoxifying your beauty and personal care products, because a lot of the ingredients in our personal care products, if you read, and you can see how, like, I don't even have them, but I remember reading, there's so many chemical components, I don't know what it is, like phthalates and phenoxyl, ethanol, whatever, all these things, parabens, you hear about people talking about this all the time now, sodium lauryl, a sulfate, like a lot of the petroleum-based products, that's really in your personal care. And our skin is our largest organ, right? So what we're putting on is going to be absorbed also, right, into our body. And what you can do is, exercising, because Lou and I are coaches, exercising, spending time in like an infrared sauna, a good salt bath, these are all good ways to kind of detoxify your skin as well. So that's the next one. It's to detox your beauty and personal care products. Oh, I do want to show you that I make my own homemade laundry detergent. And so I don't know if you can see, this is washing soda. You can see, okay, right?
Yes.
And then this is just Epsom salt or magnesium salt. And I forgot to bring my, so I just use a little container. I don't make a huge amount. And you can see this is paper. I know this is plastic, but whatever, I can do it. That just means I don't go out and buy a huge jug of laundry detergent all the time. So I just mix the two, and I mix the lemon essential oil in here, 30 to 50 drops. It's going to be like a droplet in here when you mix, but you just mix it together. The scent is not strong, but that's okay, because that actually got me to be even more sensitive to smells now. When I smell these Febreze, or those plug-in centers or whatever, I'm like, oh my god, it smells so chemical now. I'm so sensitive to it. I mean, I don't have any allergic reaction. I'm just like, oh my god, this smell is not real, right? I can tell now. And I don't use any like I don't buy. I actually also make my own shampoo now. So there are some things. There's tons of information online that you can find to make your homemade laundry detergent, shampoo, soap, like anything, toothpaste, that's the second one. So detoxify your beauty and personal care products. The next thing is switching to natural cleaning products. The top ingredients for natural cleaning products is like lemon juice, right? Vinegar, right? Baking soda. They're all like really good. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, just for laundry.
Yes.
I have wool ball so rather than buying dryer sheets, which I haven't done for years now, I just put this into my dryer to dry my clothes. So it's everything that you do. And this is actually, I don't know if I can show this, but I just want to show, we women have to use as, what do they call it, a sanitation pad or whatever, because we have our period. But I have been using Diva Cup. I don't know if for years and years. And so I haven't had to go out. I mean, it's a bigger investment initially, but what, $35? And I've been using this for years and years, and there's no chemical, because I know there are people who have toxic shock syndrome from wearing like the outside, all these, I don't even know what they're called anymore, the tampons, right? Or the sanitary pads that's like man-made. So, and then the next thing is the fourth point is filtering your drinking water, which I already mentioned. You can use Brita, whatever it is, because the tap water can contain, like I said, fluoride, lead, or arsenic, right? So you can boil your water, you can use UV treatment, you can use activated charcoal, get filter. And all I do is I just use, when I have a fridge, I make sure there's a filter in the water I get from the fridge. So that's all I use. It doesn't have to be huge. And then fifth point is detox your food storage, right? Even aluminum foil, right? It's not just the saran wrap, plastic containers, right? Because they're endocrine disrupting chemicals that would be released when it's heated. So I don't use that anymore. There are websites where you can actually buy like even a cloth wax thing to cover, your plates or anything. And I use a lot of glass jars, and I still do have some plastic, like I said, you saw my laundry detergent plastic containers, but that's for, things that are stored at room temperature and I don't have to worry about, there's no big fluctuation in temperature, right? Like, or anything with like glass, beeswax, things are recycled jars. I discovered a organic bulk food store where you can take your own containers, like, even if it's recycled, you just go there and refill it, and you just need to weigh, your container. So that's great. And I'm not continuing, even when I'm buying bulk, I'm not continuing bringing home or producing, because you got to recycle it, producing plastic, waste all the time.
Very conscious.
And then the last point is consider your cookware, right? So something called the PFOA is the perfluoral octanoic acid. I can't even PFOA. It's a man-made chemical in a lot of the non-stain cookware. Yeah, so we need to be careful about that. And so what I would recommend is like cast iron or stainless steel. They're really better for you. So these are just my 6 tips that I have for people to low tox what they're surrounding themselves with.
Thank you, Nancy. I love that. Low tox.
Yes, low tox. Well, because we can't, like I said, I'm not going to say you have to 100% detoxify. It's just there are times, we're doing our bit to minimize that. It's really not just about going all out, but it's like, what can we minimize, right? What can we do within our own capacity? You don't have to be perfect. Just start somewhere.
Wow, thank you, Nancy. I'm loving this. Low detox, I love that that word. I love your approach, homemade. But there are also a lot of products that are free from all these chemicals that you can also purchase. It's about like reading the label, as you were saying about the shampoo or anything that you put in your skin, right? So, but I love your 6 tips. Let's see if I can remember all of them. If I can't, just help me. But cleaning products, exactly. Skin products.
Yes, personal care and beauty products, yes.
Water.
Yes.
Yes, since we are 70% water, water is very important. Cooking ware, yes.
Cookware and storage.
Storage, yes, exactly. Yeah, glass.
And then one more, and that was the very first thing, which is everyone talks about the organic, local.
Oh yes, of course. It's so great to me that I forgot about it. Yeah.
Well, because everyone talks about it, right? But so it's great if more and more of us are doing that. Then we can my 6 tips, can be down to 5, right? That's totally okay. I'm happy with that.
Thanks, Nancy, for this shock awareness. I love it. It really gives us a lot of food for thought. And yeah, well, thank you for all these tips. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't know if it's a world culture or societal expectation or what we have put on ourselves, that I really see a lot of women not taking care of themselves first, because they always are thinking about other people. How can I make my kids to be better, or my husband, help them with all these things, family? And that's all good. That is really all good, great, but you don't need to be a martyr. You do not need to be a martyr. When you focus on yourself, when you are feeling healthy, happy, then that's going to come out. That energy is going to spread, and you're going to set an example for all the people around you. And it's going to be so much easier for you to say, I would like to help my kids with this. I would like to help my husband with this, or my friends, or my family, my in-laws, my parents, whoever. It's going to be easier because this is part of you. This is who you are. You know where to lay the boundary now. And when we are able to do this, our planet will also benefit. And isn't that what we all want? We want to live in a peaceful, beautiful, abundant world, and to feel happy. Isn't that what all of us are really ultimately pursuing? Happiness.
Well, thank you for that message. Thank you, Nancy. Yeah, I love it. From micro to macro, self-care, nutrition. Start with us so we can flourish and share that energy to have a better world, a world where we can all flow better, feel better. I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today.
No,
And
thank you. I really appreciate it. And Nancy, we would love to get in touch with you. Can you tell us how can we contact you?
well, you can find me on my website. My website is followthejaderabbit.com. Jrabbit is a longevity symbol in the Chinese culture, and that's kind of the inspiration behind my website and how I started to provide my services. Everything is longevity based. Doesn't mean about living forever, but live a functional life for as long as we can, no matter our age. So that you can find me at followthejrabbit.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. If you just Google Nancy Yang Timmins, you'll be able to find me as well. Thank you so much, Lou. I really feel privileged to be here to speak to you about this. You give me a platform to be able to share what I practice as well. And I really appreciate this. And thank you for sharing message with the world as well, creating this platform to with other coaches to be able to share our message. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Yes, we've been working together for quite a while now, and it's really rewarding to be able to do these things, to collaborate. So yeah, I also want to thank you for taking the time now, but also for always being open to share your knowledge, like without any restriction, with amazing energy, always learning new things and bringing in the things that you learned. So I really, really appreciate it, really admire you. And yeah, just really from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.